I want to talk about the role of the Rebbitzen.
Okay. You want to do that right now?
Yeah, it seems that many wives of modern Orthodox rabbis do not want to be called Rebbitzen or do not want to be a Rebbitzen. The more traditional the couple, the more likely the spouse is to take on the Rebbitzen role, but the more modern and the more left-wing the rabbinic couple, the less likely. So what should a shul expect from the rabbi's wife? Because many shuls expect two laborers for the price of one. And I'm not speaking out of school here. In LA's modern Orthodox synagogues, there are not a lot of Rebbitzins. So modern Orthodoxy tends to have a lot more respect for personal autonomy, for feminism, for women getting their own careers. And so rabbis' wives in modern Orthodoxy in Los Angeles generally don't tend to take on the Rebbitzen role.
Stop for 1 second. I just wanted some definitions, so we all know what we're talking about. What do you consider the Rebbitzen role, and why is it that the modern Orthodoxy don't fulfill that? Like, what would I find from a modern Orthodox rabbi's wife? Go ahead.
So first of all, in my experience, probably a third of modern Orthodox spouses of a shul rabbi do not even want to be called Rebbitzen. They take exception. They hate the term.
They're offended by that term?
They don't want to be called it. They hate it.
I've never come across that.
So the more traditional couple, the more they seem to be like two sides of one entity. They're kind of like joined at the hip, and so they seem very much like two sides of one entity. The more modern and the more left-wing the couple, the more likely they are to come across as like two autonomous human beings who share a partnership in certain things, rather than being one entity, one flesh.
They're often the same gender.
So, like many modern Orthodox women, wives of modern Orthodox rabbis, they don't cover their hair. They, wear pants out. When they're walking around, they wear pants, and they want to have a life. They want to have their own career. They don't want to be mainly just like raising kids and supporting their husband and supporting his role in the shul. They want to have their own life going, like with their own jobs.
Oh, completely. Like they could be a lawyer.
Yeah, lawyer, dentist.
Really?
Do
you know modern Orthodox rabbis here in LA whose wives are got their own profession?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so with like a traditional rabbi, in my experience, the wife is like another reflection of him. Or not just of him, they're like one entity, and they're just two sides of that one flesh, that one being. And so she will be much more involved with the shul and, with the sisterhood, so to speak. It doesn't have to be a formal club, but she'll be much more involved with like cooking and being like a social director and like visiting the sick. And she'll be much more involved, and she'll be much less likely to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, or an actress.
Okay. So
so many shuls, many even modern Orthodox shuls now, they kind of want two. They want a Rebbitzen, but they have a hard time getting one. And so when they do get one, they're really glad. I'm thinking of one shul in particular, which lost its rabbi. He left, but many of them particularly miss his wife, who was the only Rebbitzen at the shul. So there was a shul with say 3 employed rabbis, but only one of the rabbis really had a wife who was a Rebbitzen, who took on the Rebbitzen role.